Good morning, wrestling fans. Today is Saturday, November 25th, 2023. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a great Saturday morning wherever you are in the world. And once again, just like last weekend, we have another huge Saturday full of pro wrestling action tonight. Not only do we have the weekly Saturday night pro wrestling lineup, I guess you could call it, but we also have a special Saturday episode of AEW Rampage and AEW Saturday Collision all on tonight on this Saturday. And Saturday night's all right for fighting. Like I said, not making promises, but I do hope to have a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tonight. A special live episode like I normally do on Nights of Live premium live events. Still not quite used to saying pay-per-view each month, but I normally try to do the live episodes on premium live events nights. So tonight I will try to do a special live episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. But again, not any promises, just in case I can't last and wait for Tony Khan to make the post-media scrum press conference. So, like I said, I hope that I am able to stay up. Watch Rampage, watch Collision, and then whenever Tony Khan does come on for the post-media scrum, be able to talk about both of the premium live events tonight, and Rampage and Collision. Like I said, we have a big Saturday night of pro wrestling ahead of us, fans, and let's get right into it. Since this is one of the biggest WWE Premium Live events of the year, I'm just going to talk about the Survivor Series from last night. In the WWE Survivor Series 2023 will be live at the Allstate Arena in Chicago, Illinois, which I know normally when I talk about an episode of WWE television being from Chicago, I normally don't say this, but actually it's not in Chicago. It's in the Rosemont Horizon, and that's, like I said before on the podcast, that's kind of like a thing if you're here in Michigan like I am, back when WWF and WCW used to run Detroit. They always used to say, even when it was shows when they were at the Palace of Auburn Hills, they still used to just say, oh, we're in Detroit, Michigan tonight. And it's probably one of those things. So, Allstate Arena in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. More specific this time, but I don't think anybody's listening to the podcast complaining it's not actually in Chicago, and let's get right into it. Let's not waste any more time. And the WWE Intercontinental Championship is on the line. We have The Miz challenging Gunther, and this one, Gunther has a pretty impressive track record as of late of having one of the best, if not the best matches on the whole show, going back to Clash at the Castle when he took on Roman Reigns, and that now classic match. But The Miz, nothing against Michael Mizanin, but it was like I heard him talk about, John Pollock and Wai Ting talk about on Post Wrestling, is like The Miz is pretty much one of those indie wrestlers that wrestles the independent style. He's pretty much just a WWE guy. They even brought up if he was not in WWE at this point, it would probably be Matt Cardona in the place of The Miz taking on Gunther. And as far as a prediction goes for this match, as entertaining as The Miz has been as of late, I don't see them taking the title off The Miz right now, ending that record-breaking reign, beating the Honky Tonk Man's record. I just see them keeping the title on Gunther. Again, no disrespect to Michael Mizanin, but he is not a guy that I see them letting take the title off Gunther. And the Women's World Championship is on the line. We have representing the Judgment Day, Rhea Ripley taking on Zoe Stark. I have no doubt that this will be an entertaining match, but I pretty much see Rhea Ripley retaining. And I wouldn't say it's going to be a squash match or anything, but I don't really see this being anything special. I see Rhea Ripley retaining pretty easy. And we have a singles match, one of our only traditional Survivor Series matches tonight, the Men's War Games match. The American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins, main event Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and the returning Viper Randy Orton to take on the Judgment Day team of Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Dirty Dom, Dominic Mysterio, J.D. McDonough, and Senior Money in the Bank, Damian Priest. This one is, like I said, it's only for having 2 War Games matches. And I've talked about this the last few years or so now, that NXT has brought back the War Games matches. Maybe I'll talk about this in a little bit when I do my predictions, but I'd have to say for this one, I see the Judgment Day winning. Maybe it's a better idea to keep them looking strong and dominant. I know you got Randy Orton coming back, and you probably don't want to beat him right away, his first match back on a premium live event. But if you ask me, I really don't see the Judgment Day going over here. I just would say if it was up to me, I definitely would keep the Judgment Day looking dominant, looking strong, and have them beat, I guess maybe you could call them Team WWE. I don't know, because we've had Drew McIntyre say that he actually did not join the Judgment Day, that he pretty much joined their team on the Survivor Series because he hates J.D. McDonough. Another thing I heard talked about on Post Wrestling is that tonight we could actually see J.D. McDonough actually stick up for Damian Priest because he might prove his loyalty to the Judgment Day tonight and maybe stick up for him and cash in the Money in the Bank briefcase. To be honest, I wouldn't doubt that, but like John and Way said, there's really too much going on with the War Games matches and everything already added, and I don't see it happening. And our second War Games match of the night, take a little break here between, we have Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar, and it was announced last night on Friday Night SmackDown that taking Dragon Lee's spot would be Carlito. And this one, I think they should make Dragon Lee look really good. Like, really give him a lot of offense in this one. Let him take it to Carlito. Give him some high spots in this one. Make it look like he is possibly could win this match at any moment. But then have Santos cheat somehow and beat him. But I definitely think it should be Dragon Lee going over in this one, especially since there has been reports of a new heel stable coming with Santos Escobar. So I'd say it'd probably be the best bet to make him look strong coming out of this match tonight. And what I think is going to close the show tonight, because I know they usually try to space them out so they're not back to back. The Women's War Games match, we have the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and the Women's World Champion Becky Lynch taking on the team of Damage Control. Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane. Yeah, I think this one will be very entertaining, to be honest. I actually think the Women's War Games match could steal the show. With the angle, you had Asuka recently joining Damage Control at War Games, and they have already teased on SmackDown as of late, the last couple weeks or so, that kind of them maybe giving Bayley the boot and them taking over Damage Control. I mean, we will just have to wait and see, but on SmackDown that has definitely been teased, and I don't know if it's too soon or not, but I could see that happening probably sometime in the near future, if not maybe tonight in War Games. And what I wanted to talk about real quick before I get here to work, and that is, I think the old saying is the elephant in the room. And WWE Survivor Series live tonight. Where is it? Chicago. And whose name always gets brought up and chanted when the WWE is in Chicago? Yep, Mr. Phil Brooks, CM Punk. Now, I did see there's a video online. You can check that out. I'm sure it's on all the social media by now, but there is a video of even before SmackDown started, actually, before they went on the air on FS1, which I forgot to mention, they were on FS1 last night, but some video did get out of, before the show, some fans trying to get a CM Punk chant started, but what I seen actually, maybe it's just me, maybe I missed it, maybe I'm hard of hearing, but other than one part in the women's match last night, I really couldn't hear too many CM Punk chants. And I've already talked about here on the podcast, wanted to mention it again, kinda. I think if you're expecting CM Punk return tonight, hey, I could be wrong. And I've definitely been wrong before here on the podcast, but I think if you are expecting to see CM Punk return to pro wrestling tonight, I actually think you are going to be disappointed. I just don't see it happening. And I think if it does eventually happen again, I just don't see him going back to WWE. And yes, I'm sure everyone listening to the podcast right now is probably saying you're the one who is always on here saying it's pro wrestling, never say never. But I'd have to say, as far as a CM Punk return to WWE goes, I'd say, I'm not going to say never actually, but I'd probably say highly unlikely. I don't expect it to happen anytime soon. And that's my prediction. If you're asking about a CM Punk return, I would say highly unlikely. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. And that's all for this Saturday morning episode of WWE Good Morning. Oh, wait, what? Sorry. Of 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans. I wish this podcast was sponsored by WWE and was a WWE podcast, but okay, let me start over. And that was this Saturday's episode of 360 Good Morning Wrestling Fans. Like I said, once again, don't forget, no promises, but I hope to have a special premium live event episode of WWE Survivor Series going head-to-head with AEW Rampage and AEW Saturday Collision. All the great, hopefully great pro wrestling we have to watch tonight between TBS, TNT, and Peacock, WWE Network, wherever you are. So once again, thank you everyone for listening. I appreciate everyone listening. Thank you very much. Remember, in the comment section, you can leave your feedback and comments and thoughts on tonight's WWE Survivor Series and also Rampage and Collision. Just leave your opinions on the PLE in the comments, either right here on Spreaker, YouTube, or wherever you listen to the podcast at. So once again, thank you everyone for listening, and I will definitely try to talk to everyone tomorrow morning on Good Morning Wrestling Fans. But until tomorrow morning, messed this up again. Have a great pro wrestling day.